another edition of Diaspora Network, the show that showcases Nigerians who are making giant strides in different parts of the world. On the show today, it's all about space operations and satellites. We beam the spotlight on Nigerians who are contributing to the progress of spatial technology. Our special report highlights the achievements of Nigeria's experts in the commercial space technology sector. And don't miss our conversation with Dr. Ibrahim Salau. He's a Nigerian aerospace engineer who, of course, is now doing a lot of work in terms of geospatial technology. It's quite an episode that we have ahead, but first of all, let's take a look at what's in the news this week.
A new restaurant has opened in Sacramento, California, and is making headlines for fusing Nigerian and Mexican cuisine. Niger Boys Tacos, founded by Rashid Amedu, is an outdoor-seated restaurant which opened this summer. It's been met with encouragement in the local community and is said to have something on the menu for everyone. The restaurant features dishes such as suya spiced chicken Melanesia, kuli kuli sticky buns, and curry goat tacos, made with plantain cassava tortillas. The first-generation Nigerian-American chef was born and raised in Chicago and says while growing up, his mum, a registered nurse, often working late, leaving Rashid in charge of feeding his two younger brothers, is where he developed his love for cooking. Rashid, who has an ambitious entrepreneurial spirit, plans to open another Nigerian-Californian restaurant down the line, which seeks to further bridge the gap between his cultural culinary adventures and business ownership. The Victoria and Albert Museum in London has opened its first African fashion exhibition, more than 170 years after it was founded. The showcase features designs by Nigerian artists, including Kwa Onwuka and the Lagos Space Programme. The exhibition brings together over 250 objects, collated from a selection of mid-20th century personal archives and contemporary fashion creatives, alongside textiles and photos from the V&A's own collection. The Vanguard, which is the central attraction of the exhibition, showcases the works of pioneers in African fashion design, including Sade Thomas Pham, who is often dubbed Nigeria's first fashion designer. She studied at London's highly regarded St Martin's College in the 50s, where she qualified as a fashion designer. After spending time in the UK, she later moved back to Nigeria with a goal to provide jobs for people and to tackle unemployment. Here, Sade opened several boutiques, which took Nigeria by storm, modernising and inspiring women's wear for years to come. The Africa Fashion Exhibition is open now until April 2023. Nigerian-Ukrainian gospel singer psalmist DMD has created music-led services for Africans who have fled the war in Ukraine. Stories of Songs are live sessions where the displaced can share their stories with those that have faced similar circumstances. We caught up with him to discuss how it all started.
The role I've been playing, I wouldn't say call it a role, but what we're able to do, we put together a team to be able to reach out to people because we understand that though sometimes we speak different languages, but the language of music is universal, and gospel music is also very impactful in the lives of people. So what we just do is we sing praises to God. We tell our stories of how we escaped from Ukraine and how we believed God for it. And this has been life-changing. It's been very impactful and transformational. It's been very therapeutic at the same time. Our goal is just to expand, keep on doing it, but not just do it because we want to do it, but do it because we understand that it is also a leading from God in our hearts to go and reach people and share His love, remind them that He still cares about them. The experience is not over. Yes, we're still in Europe. We still have a lot of us. They have a lot of what next, but we believe strongly that as we go across Europe, that lots and lots of lives will be changed and impacted.
Juliana Olayinka with the Diaspora Network News Wrap in London.
Now, on this show, we catch up with the activities of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission as they engage citizens for development. Let's have a look.
What's your name?
Recently, President Muhammadu Buhari met with Nigerians in Portugal at a town hall meeting organized by the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabrerewa. The people are delighted to receive him.
Your Excellency, the Nigerian community in Portugal is living peacefully among themselves and most importantly with host authorities.
President Buhari uses the occasion to call on all to join hands to deliver the Nigeria of their dreams, as his administration will continue to support citizens in diaspora.
In every field of human endeavor, be it the creative industries, sports, health, academia, Nigerians in the diaspora have thrived and leveraged on their skills to raise our country's profile higher economically, socially, technologically, and culturally. You must continue to be our ambassadors at large in your comportment, actions, and character. You must excel and be the best in all your endeavors. While here, you must also not forget home, as you are the example we want to project to the rest of the world.
At the end of the meeting, Nigerian professional footballers based in Lisbon, Xavier Godwin and Chima Akas, make a presentation to the president.
What is this long word?
This one is number one.
I know, I'm number one.
Also, I have the muffler. The muffler.
I see. Yes, sir.
And for the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, its efforts to engage citizens in diaspora is a reflection of its belief that human capital development is priority.
Our biggest assets are human beings. We're talking of human capital development. And you can see Nigerians all over the world excelling. But the beauty of what we're doing is that they all want to do things back home and are beginning to do things back home. Look at everybody in this hall. They have their businesses here and also in Nigeria. So what government needs to do is encourage them and also support them one way or the other, because if others are investing in Nigeria, Nigerians in the diaspora should also be our first line of investors. And they're here. They're all over the world and they're doing that. So NIDCOM is driving that. Yes, there are challenges, there are issues, no doubt, but it is our country and we continue to encourage them. And the beauty of it all is that you can see the passion and the interest. So if nobody is talking to them, we have to talk to them, we have to engage them. And Mr. President talking to them at engagements like this is also very, very encouraging. In fact, they all look forward to this kind of very enlightening and instructive engagement with the president everywhere he goes. So the key thing is there are programs for the diaspora. The diaspora housing scheme, for instance, is aimed at having the diaspora be able to own your own homes from wherever you are. You know, the Diaspora Mortgage Scheme with the Federal Bank of Nigeria, the Diaspora Investment Trust Fund, and several other programs for the diaspora. So we need to encourage our brothers and sisters abroad who want to do things back home, who are doing things back home, and ensure that we encourage rather than make things difficult for them.
President Buhari has since returned to the country. Are you a Nigerian in diaspora? Do you have a need to contact Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM? Kindly dial any of the numbers on your screen. You can also catch up with all the Commission's activities, including news, articles, and office events on the website nidcom.gov.ng.
Spatial technologies are modern tools for gathering and analyzing location-specific data. Now, interestingly, we found Nigerians who are cutting their teeth in this area and have actually made a mark in terms of geospatial science.
The impact of the use of technology is evident in industries like transportation, agriculture, mining, construction, healthcare, defense, and of course, security. And many describe technology as a tool that has continued to present opportunities to create solutions that meet societal needs. With the rise of extremist groups that pose a threat to human life and property, governments all around the world are stepping up integrated framework powered by technology to strengthen their security infrastructure and networks. One area of interest in this regard is geospatial technology, a system which facilitates the determination of the exact location of an object or person with the use of software or hardware, like virtual maps, satellite images, global positioning systems, geographic information systems, and remote sensing. These technologies are used to visualize, manipulate, analyze, display, and record critical spatial data. Fundamentally, combining location with other forms of data allows for better intelligence gathering and more informed decision-making on the part of security agencies and special forces. This growing demand for accurate and detailed geospatial data has in recent times led to the emergence of a dynamic geospatial startup ecosystem globally, and this in turn is driving real growth in the global geospatial market. According to the Global Geospatial Industry Outlook of GW Consulting, the global geospatial market was estimated to be worth approximately $395 billion in 2021, compared to $365 billion in 2020. From the look of things, these numbers are expected to rise to an estimated $680 billion between 2021 and 2025. Countries like India, Singapore, the United Arab Emirates have incorporated spatial technologies in almost every area where location data is important. Back home in Nigeria, while the federal government continues to reiterate its commitment to actively leverage modern technology in its fight against insecurity, experts believe the country needs to invest more for better results.
There are quite a lot of roles that it can play. So, for example, if I pick the kidnapping of a thing, we heard of when a US guy was kidnapped and overnight they came to rescue him. Now, we don't really have the details of how that was done, but I'm sure that was through technology. It wasn't as if they had somebody in the forest. So if you look at drones, if you look at could fly in drones there to check on these guys, we could use tracking system. There are quite a lot of things that could be put in place.
Interestingly, there's a long list of Nigerian thinkers and innovators who are passionate about developing strategies to grow the industry on a global scale. Dr. Olusegun Jonah is one of them. He is a space and atmospheric scientist with a background in physics, electronics from the Adekunle Ajasin University in Ondo State, southwest Nigeria. His career kicked off in 2011 when he received a fellowship award from the Brazilian government under the National Council for Scientific and Technological Development Program. He currently works at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration Jet Propulsion Laboratory in the US, where he is pursuing discoveries that benefit humanity. With the digital revolution sweeping across the world, better engagement with players in the tech space, and the creation of platforms that will foster collaboration and exchange of cutting-edge technologies will go a long way towards putting to rest some of the security challenges the country is grappling with.
So, as you can see, there's a leading Nigerian in almost any sector that you can think of. Now, we traveled to North America to bring you the exciting story of a US-based Nigerian who is a consultant aerospace engineer, and he has also brought a wealth of his experience into spatial technology.
He attended Federal Government College, Ilorin, Kwara State, North Central Nigeria, and is an alumnus of the University of Lagos, Nigeria, where he obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering. He then moved on to the National Institute of Applied Science of Lyon, a leading engineering school in France, and it's here that he obtained a master's degree in Mechanical Engineering. He had a brief work stint with Ajaokuta Steel Company and Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas, where he designed the logo of the company, which it still bears today. His desire for more challenges led him to obtain a doctorate degree from the Henri Poincaré University in France. He went on to work with BE Aerospace in Jacksonville, Florida in 1998, where he designed and analyzed aircraft interior systems and worked on galleys, refrigeration systems, seats, and closets for wide-body aircraft like Boeing and Airbus. In 2000, Dr. Salau rose to become a senior engineer in Delta Airlines Technical Operations Center. At Delta, he worked on such aircraft as the B-767 and the B-777, specializing on fuselage structures, vertical and horizontal stabilizers, thrust reversers, and auxiliary power units. In 2014, his experience in the field led him to take on the role of a consultant in aerospace engineering to various aircraft manufacturers like Atlas Air in New York, Bombardier in Canada, and Sikorsky Aircraft, Connecticut, in the United States, where he served as an airframe structural analyst. He worked closely with management and engineering teams to troubleshoot and resolve complex issues while minimizing downtime and risk. He is also among the privileged few who have worked on Black Hawk and Seahawk helicopters as a maintenance review board engineer. Dr. Salao's recent assignment is the design and analysis of Sikorsky's new executive transport helicopter, the VH-92A, and he recently received a certificate of appreciation for his contribution to the critical review process of this aircraft. Today, he's a senior specialist, structural analysis engineer at L3 Harris Technologies in Melbourne, Florida, where he oversees processes like satellite vehicle processing and assembly, spacecraft testing, integration operations, checkouts, fueling, and encapsulation.
Coming up on Diaspora Network, our interview with Dr. Ibrahim Salao. In a minute. Welcome back to the program. Now let's get to know this spatial technology expert a little bit more.
This is Melbourne, Florida, and it's here that we find this results-driven stress analyst and mechanical engineer who has contributed to large-scale programs and projects within the US aerospace industry. He begins by telling us the role family has played in his success story.
My granddad and my dad raised me jointly, and I spent a whole lot of time with my grandfather, most especially. He was the chief head of the village, where if there's any issue to be resolved between families, they bring it to him, and he sits us down, the grandchildren, to listen to the proceedings. And when he's making his judgment and everything, we listen in and try to be very quiet, of course, not to disrupt any proceeding. There was nothing like jail system at the time. He was responsible for collecting taxes for the government, and we as grandchildren will help him accomplish that task. During the period, he taught us that wherever we go, we are going around with the family's name to protect. Not only are we representing ourselves, we are representing the family where we come from. I think that has played a major role in how I have gone about my life throughout, either in Nigeria, in France, United States, or in Canada.
From his experience of working on defense systems in different countries of the world, Dr. Salao is convinced that governments must overlook tribalism to get the best hands.
One thing I've seen that is common between all these countries that is kind of missing from Nigeria is that nobody asks you which state do you belong to. Rather, they ask you what is your state of residence or your place of residence for employment. As long as Nigeria keeps looking at people from where they come from, as opposed to what they bring to the table, what they can do with their education, with their background, their career, then it's going to take a while for us to get there. It's time for us to start looking at every Nigerian as a Nigerian. Whether you are born in Enugu and living in Kano, you should be able to run for an election as long as you pay your tax, you are a good citizen, you are doing everything that you're supposed to do living there. And vice versa. If somebody is was born in Sokoto and living in Okene, they should be able to be free to run for an office. It doesn't matter where you come from. A Nigerian should be considered a Nigerian in Nigeria.
As an ardent follower of developments back home, he's worried by the reports he hears in the news regarding security.
The issue of security is actually right up there. Right now, we are going about, I have a friend who just came from Nigeria, And I asked him how the security situation in Nigeria, and he told me that it's just complete chaos. And this guy actually lives in Canada. Complete chaos, lawlessness. Actually, I was listening to one of the presidential candidates, actually whether it's campaigning or not campaigning. I can't call it campaigning because he didn't, not once did he say, I'm asking for your vote. Basically, it's like, let's pray for the life of those lost in a particular state, without saying that we will do everything in our power to make sure that those who commit this offense will be brought to book. Let's pray. It has always been like that. Oh, let's just pray and everything will be okay. We know that is not happening because everything is not okay. It's only getting worse. Yet we are still praying. But it's time for the government to go beyond prayer to actually doing something tangible to make sure that people are living in peace in Nigeria the way I used to live when I was a teenager back in Nigeria, where we can sleep, go to bed, and not even lock your door, and nothing will happen to you. You wake up the following day, nothing happens.
Still, he's confident that some answers lie in the diaspora through experts that have experience with developing hierarchical reporting structures for identifying potential security threats.
For me, when I hear this problem of intelligence, the bad guys are using the same, they are using cell phone and all kind of technology that the government has control over. So why are the bad guys having an upper hand on controlling this technology more than the Nigerian government can? There has to be, in my opinion, again, not being an expert in the field, that the Nigerian community has to be involved. There has to be a structure that is backed by people and technology to make this thing work. I'll give you a simple example. When September 11 happened in the United States, there was this, the Congress, the government met and decided, they come up with a program to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And the people were tasked. If you see something, say something. And they have a structure behind, see something, say something, so that when the community, when anybody, if a report is submitted somewhere, there is a whole apparatus to look at what is being reported. Is that the case in Nigeria today? I'm not so sure. So, Nigerian community needs to be involved, and there has to be, for me, a sound structure in place and architecture that will have a hierarchy, meaning that when a report is received, it flows from one level to the other and is treated with the urgency it demands to forestall bad things happening in the first place.
Dr. Salau ties the current security challenge to the trouble in the education sector.
Education plays a key role in who I am today. If our educational system crumbles and our security apparatus but basically, struggling, where is our future? We need to start talking to each other and making sure that if the government needs to take their hands off of so many things and decentralize our educational system so it will work better, I think that will help a lot. We are talking about Nigerians in diaspora and at home. We have the resources, the talent, both in human and natural resources to solve our problem. But it just seems to me that either because of greed, those who are charged to help us develop are unfortunately not doing the right thing. And I call on the powers that be in Nigeria to put your ego aside and look at Nigeria as your number one priority.
And he demonstrates making Nigeria a priority in his role as two-term president of Zumunta Association, a non-for-profit US-based Nigerian organization dedicated to improving the development of Nigeria through social services in education and scholarship, healthcare services, and culture.
Now that's an inspiring story, and you, our viewers, may ask, when will Nigeria deploy spatial technologies to solve some of her critical problems, especially in the area of security? Well, the answer is now. After all, the country does have the experts. And that's it on the show. You can catch other episodes on our website, channelstv.com. I'm Ijeoma Onyato. Let's do this again some other time.